My name is Adel. I'm from Egypt, but I live and work at Bahrain. I'm an assistant professor at the Applied Science University. Let me begin with a story till it starts. 10 years ago, I have been an HR and admin manager in one of the big projects in Egypt. I had a deputy at the time. What happened is, once upon a time, I had to leave for a 6 or 7 days leave. And I had to authorize my deputy for whatever decisions that needed to be taken. Okay? My deputy actually shared everything with me, shared in decision making in everything we did. When I traveled, it was in the middle of a merge, a huge merge between our company and another company in the consortium of implementing the project. The thing is, when I got back, I was astonished that my deputy took some decisions that costed our company huge, a substantial amount of money, because actually he didn't get back to me or to any other superiors in the project. So, was I wrong in empowering my deputy? This is the question. I did a paper on the leadership styles and how they could affect the empowerment of the different employees. You know, I'm from the Middle East. In the Middle East, things are conducted differently, slightly different, from the other of the world. We have our cultures, we have our traditions. So when you say empowerment, you have to be very clean and very okay. Overview of the slide. We'll go to the introduction, the research problem, the research questions, and so on and so, as usual. In business, everything changes. If you don't change, you know that you get out of business. I'm coming from the industry. I have been in the industry for so long, before joining the academia. The problem here is, sometimes what we do in academia is completely the opposite to what is in reality. And this paper is a proof of that. The research problem is, in the Middle East we have about 9 or 10 leadership styles, but the most prominent styles of leadership in the Middle East are only 3. The democratic, the transformational, and the autocratic. And by the way, the autocratic one is the prevailing one. So the research questions are, what is the impact of the leadership styles on empowering the employees? And what is the leadership styles that has the most effective impact on empowering the employees? This paper had the objectives of studying the relationship between the prevailing leadership styles and measuring the impact of the prevailing leadership styles on the empowerment of employees. We did some sort of a framework. We used an independent variable, which would be the leaders of the leadership styles with the different dimensions, democratic, transformational, and autocratic. And on the other side, we will have the employment empowerment as the dependent variable. And we're going to use some demographic variables that might affect the different responses of the sample, like the gender, the age, the qualification, and the experience. The hypothesis, broadly said, was there is a statistical significant effect for the leadership styles, like democratic, transformational, and autocratic, on the employees' empowerment at the Ministry of Labor and Social Development in Bahrain. we use this ministry or this governmental body as the target population society, because actually the leadership style in the governmental and public sector in the Middle East are the one that needs everybody to review and revisit. From the main hypothesis, we have three sub-hypotheses talking about each of the leadership styles and its impact on the empowerment of the employees. The research design of the study, we used the quantitative methodology. A descriptive analytical approach was adopted using the questionnaires to collect data to answer the research questions. Data collection was conducted by the use of a specifically developed questionnaire made out of 42 statements, 27 for the independent variable and 15 for the dependent variable, and the demographic used was the first part. The second part was for the independent variable with the three dimensions, like the democratic leadership, transformational leadership, and autocratic leadership. And the last part was for the employee empowerment. Key findings here actually are a tricky one. You know, in most places, most papers, most literature talking about